This is method 2 on how you can use MyMathLab to achieve the objectives for this course. So what you see in front of you is MyMathLab, the homepage, or the course homepage, and everything is in here that you need. So what I would do if I were a student who liked to learn online and didn't feel the need to use a textbook, I would begin, again, going to the checklists and opening the checklist for that week to see which sections are required. And here we have sections, chapter 1, sections 1, 2, and 3, chapter 2, 1, 2, and 3, and section 2.4. After I look at the checklists, I'm going to go to chapter contents, and I'm going to work through what is needed in those chapters. So I'm probably going to print off the learning guide here. Probably even more important if you're not going to use the in-hand textbook. So I would have my guided notes ready, and I could read everything online and then work with the guided notes online as well. Then go to chapter 1. Now, with chapter 1, you could look at the chapter opener. It's going to bring up the textbook for chapter 1. And I'm just going to start reading and learning. The nice thing about the online textbook is that we have everything integrated. So I would read if you're on a tablet or if you're on the computer, and just start reading, look at what am I supposed to learn? What are the objectives? Read about in section 1.1, inductive and deductive reasoning. I'm going to continue to read and gather, everything that you need. You can look at highlights. I can highlight things. That's great. Maybe I want to highlight here inductive reasoning. Some good information on inductive reasoning that I want to look at later. I can then choose to hide highlights. I can show highlights for my studying. I can make notes. Maybe I want to make a note here that this is important, or ask a question. Something that can help you later on. Okay, so these later on when I come back to the chapter, I can look at, where I have notes or what I have highlighted. So really you can, where I said in the method 1, I like to write in my book, I like to highlight my book. I can, in essence, write and highlight in my HTML version or my online version of the textbook as well. It's nice to have. Now, as far as the checkpoints, I'm going to go to page 4. The advantage to using the online version is that with these examples, you can read the example, but in the online textbook, we have places where you can try it as well. So they're similar to homework problems, and here, find a counterexample to show that the following statement is false. If a number is multiplied by itself, the result is even. Well, if I look to the multiple choice section here, 5 times 5 is 25. That's a number multiplied by itself being an odd number. That is a counterexample, so I will click it, and I'll check my answer. It says nice work, and I will then close it. Okay. So not only do I have the checkpoints, which we have the videos here for the checkpoints, but I also have those try it sections, which are integrated throughout the textbook. So in this method, I would read everything online. I would page through, again, highlight. All right, there's an important definition here. I'm going to highlight it. Need to check the highlighter again. Okay. And I can highlight large sections of text. I can put notes in, right, for future reference. I can even have, a bookmark. Okay, so it's very, very helpful. At the end of every section, I could go to the chapter test, right? And with the chapter test, I can read, do the videos. Now, one caution about doing everything on the computer. Remember that your tests are in person and you're going to be doing them on paper. The biggest difficulty that my online students have is that transferring from doing questions online, where they have all of the helps, to doing questions in the testing situation on paper. So do questions, write them out. It's a different type of learning. Write them out, do them on paper to reinforce your learning, and you'll be much better prepared for your testing situations. Now, we went through where all of the resources are in the textbook. Remember that you can also go to the multimedia library. Now, one thing that I think would be beneficial and possibly beneficial for either of the methods, and again, you could integrate the two and you can play with them. You don't have to just stick with one method. Try to bring in a variety. So here I'm going to look at, again, chapter 1, and I want all of the media that is available for chapter 1. It gives some animation. You can play around with that on how to different topics in the chapter. But another part that you can use beyond the checkpoint videos and the test prep videos is you can look at the PowerPoints. I think a wonderful thing to do is to open up a PowerPoint. Now on the PowerPoint there is a demonstration or the show, like right here, it's a slideshow. I recommend going through it. This is a wonderful thing to do before you read the chapter. You can go through, get the general idea of what's going on. Here we're talking about inductive reasoning, deductive reasoning, definitions. I can't make notes, but it's still interesting. And it really gives you an overview of what's happening in the chapter. The reason that I like to do this in the slideshow presentation is because I'm reading along here, and it's similar. This is a great example. What number comes next? And you can think about it, and then it will walk you through what number would come next as well in the PowerPoint form. And you can read through. It's, I think, very beneficial in that it's kind of like the shortened version, the Cliff Notes version, if you will, of the text. All right, so we can have the PowerPoint as well, and that can help you. So look through the course materials available. You can read it online. You can look at the try-its, the checkpoint videos. The PowerPoints are wonderful, and I recommend you look through them whether you do this, read online, or you read through the chapter. I think it's very, very helpful. So whether you choose to use method 1 or method 2, it's up to you. Please let me know if you have any questions.